Okay, so next we've got Stephanie Petties. She is a faculty member up at UC Blue Ash, and I'll let her introduce her business concept. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. My name is Stephanie Petties, and I'm here today to introduce you to Fibi and the children who inspired it. Fibi is a building block system I created for my 2 young children to share my knowledge of design principles, most significantly the Fibonacci sequence and proportions. I am a faculty member here at UC Blue Ash. I have a Bachelor's of Fine Arts and a Master's of Fine Arts, and I teach visual communication and foundation design. I've been teaching, practicing, and researching design for over 20 years. And in 2002, I got to do it with my kids in my lap. Quarantined at home because of daycare closures and preschool closures. I was teaching literally and going back and forth, playing with them. And you can see here, both of them are young and in the formative ages of right brain development. And this gave me an opportunity to really look at their toys differently than I had before. And one of the things that stuck out the most to me were their building block systems. Here you can see 3 examples of traditional building block systems. The 2 on the right are actually advertised as being art building block systems. And what I found with most building block systems is they're based on a single increment. And that increment is multiplied by 1 or 2 or 3 to nicely fit together. And in addition to that, the pieces you get in the system are all about the same size and proportion. And this was completely counterintuitive to what I was teaching. In my college courses, I teach my designers, my aspiring designers, about the Fibonacci numbers, the golden ratio, phi, and the golden rectangle, the proportions that we see in nature that appeal to us as humans on a subconscious level and have been used in art and design for centuries through sculpture and paintings and architecture and even modern day logo design. I'd even bet you used a simplified version of this when you're taking pictures or cropping a picture, the rule of thirds. And I started to kind of theorize, if my child had these blocks like you see on the left that are all the same, in the same proportion, they build something like this. But if I gave them the same number of blocks proportioned according to Fibonacci's sequence, they could build something different and more dynamic and interesting. And I started giving my children more pieces, all based on these proportions, length and width, and dimensions of the Fibonacci sequence. And I watched what they were building. And they built things that were non-representational, as you see over here on the left. And I saw that they were engaged in the process of balancing and figuring out how the pieces would work together. And they built things that they put names to, like the middle, which is a BattleBot arena, and the right over here, which is the most adorable mousetrap I've ever seen. So they were stretching their imaginations as they were working. And I realized I was a person in the market fulfilling a need that I could not find, a need that was not met. But there were other people out there just like me. So the audience that this appeals to is the artist and the designer. We are the people with Masters of Fine Arts and Bachelors of Fine Arts. We value the arts and we value right brain thinking. Before our children are born, we are making decisions about how they are exposed to art and design, whether it is the mobile that they wake up to that's called or inspired, or the fine art that we're placing in their nursery. Our children will not remember their first trip to the museum or art gallery because they were probably in a little pack on our stomachs and sleeping. But we will invest in a number of opportunities to take them back to art experiences and the ballet and the theater. And we will invest even more so that they can explore their creativity through dance and performance and making. We are the audience who may be enrolling our kids into a Waldorf center. a Waldorf school looking for opportunities where right brain thinking is incorporated throughout their learning. And I've included Fibi here. You can see we're setting up for a little shadow tracing, because Fibi is just another one of those investments that this audience is willing to make to develop the creative and right brain thinking of their children. This audience that I'm talking about is small, but they're a very passionate audience. Estimations of what that audience would be just right here in Cincinnati is about 700 strong. But in order for me to make Fibi successful and to get Fibi in the hands of these parents, I need help and assistance. If you haven't figured it out yet, I'm a creative and I am an artist, but I am not a business person. I know that there are plenty of opportunities for Fibi to go into a retail space and be on the shelf of a specialty toy store or the art gallery shop or museum shop. There's opportunities for licensing. So I'm asking for mentoring and help navigating those business decisions and help marketing and finding this audience that I just described to you. In addition, manufacturing may become an issue depending on how large Fibi gets. I've developed this prototype in my garage, in my basement, and as a full-time academic and mother, I don't necessarily see it being sustainable to continue to make this in my garage and my basement. So thank you very much for your time, and if you have any questions, I'm more than willing to answer those for you.
Okay, thank you. I'll take this and you can hand that back off in the back. Okay,